Hi guys, welcome back to Hairdryer Treatment. We're on cloud 9, no pun intended, but Meg, what have we just witnessed?
I mean, what a way to overcome last week. 9-0.
None of us predicted that. None of us.
Honestly, do you know what? I'm going to hold my hands up and be like, I missed the Arsenal Wolves game, right? And I thought, oh my God, after seeing what happened, like reading about it, I thought I best watch the highlights because no doubt we'll end up probably talking about Arsenal having lost 2 players, and I just didn't expect to be now sat here thinking couldn't care less that Arsenal lost 2 players when we've just won 9-0. 9-0.
9-0. I still literally feels weird saying it. Nicole, thank you so much for tuning in. Nicole obviously is back with us. Go and make sure you follow United She Stands on Twitter. And she said, buzzing, the difference a week can make. It's true, isn't it? Like you say, trying to put the past behind us the past week or so. But Meg, you said off camera just, and someone has kind of backed it up in the chat saying I think everyone will get a 10 rating for today's performance. But we were talking about Luke Shaw just off camera, and I want to touch on him firstly because I tweeted saying put some respect on his name. He's had a lot of haters. How good was he? Yet again, that first half today, he was phenomenal.
Yeah, I just said to you, I feel sorry that he only managed to play, well, not only managed to play half a game, but that he got took off after half a game because who knows what he would have come up with in the second half. But you've got to protect players like that. And right now, the way that he's playing, protect him at all costs. Don't let him go out. Don't let him go out in public. Don't let him come in contact with anybody near this coronavirus. You just keep him safe.
Yeah, protect your best players, like you say. But I think Luke Shaw's class. Look, McTominay, I thought had a really good game. Even Maguire, I thought coming out from the back with the ball. Everyone had a good game, to be honest with you. And Wan-Bissaka, last stream we did, we were talking about how close he was getting at the back post. He kept coming to the back post and he wasn't quite making the right contact. Today he got there again and he got his reward, didn't he? Do you think that's something that they've been obviously working on? Like I say, last game, it wasn't just yesterday, he was obviously against 10 men, went down to 9 afterwards, but when he scored his goal, it was down to 10 men. So obviously, yeah, you would push further forward. But even in the last game, you saw him pushing the back post. He had a few chances, didn't he? Do you think that's something that's been worked on?
Definitely. You've seen it last season with Liverpool. Fullbacks now aren't just defensive, aren't they? Are they? They're clinical and going forward and creating opportunities, scoring goals. And I feel like Wan-Bissaka's goal literally epitomises that whole thing about fullbacks being there in your attack as well. Because it literally went from Luke Shaw, from one fullback to the other one, and that's exactly how they probably will have worked on it. Wan-Bissaka in at the back post, no doubt. The other side as well, Wan-Bissaka crossing over Luke Shaw or whoever's playing left back to be in and around that backstick post backstick area. I'm so glad for him that he scored because, like you said, he had that opportunity in the past week to net himself one on a header, and he just didn't get it right at all tonight. I still don't think he caught it cleanly. I definitely think it was meant to go to the right hand side, and he's hit it back to the back post. But he's there in the right place. If they've worked on it, then fair play to him because he's literally gone and put it in the game.
Yeah, and to see us scoring goals, we mentioned, didn't we? We'd like to see us, we said this against Sheffield actually, we'd like to see us get a few goals behind us, but then not slack off, keep going and try and score more. We've seen it in the past, 4-0 at half time, could have come out the second half, been more defensive, but we didn't, did we? We were relentless, we were ruthless, we kept pushing, and they made it harder for us, obviously, because they sat in and obviously it was congested and we needed to try and get the ball wider.
A 5 and then a 4 at one point, and then obviously the keeper. I just thought this is going to be a long half if we can't break that down.
Yeah, and can I just say I'm absolutely buzzing. Mark pointed him out, Martial there. I'm buzzing that he's got back on the score sheet. I will ask you about the penalty in a minute though, but before I do get onto that, I want to obviously talk about the tackle that involved McTominay, the first red card that was given for the youngster. I'm going to sit here and say I kind of felt sorry for the youngster because I do think he's got to be excited. Obviously, so many seconds, 79 seconds was it or something at Old Trafford, but at the same time, like in a way, he's lucky. Like he could have literally ended McTominay's career. It was a horror challenge, wasn't it, Meg?
Like brutal challenge. You kind of, I said to Josh, like I feel like Hasenhüttl has probably said at some point leading up to the game, make sure you're aggressive. make sure you go and put your mark on the game. But don't take it literally. He took it as in like, be aggressive and leave a mark, and he literally left it on McTominay's leg. Horror challenge. You know when you sit there and you watch it and you just go, oh, that was my reaction. That I was like, oh, I was winced. I was like, that just a nasty challenge. I do feel for him. I just hope that the amount of abuse that goes to footballers' ways, he's a young lad, and I just hope that for him, it's just a very big learning lesson that he's had to take.
Like I say, it could have been a lot worse, couldn't it? Imagine if he'd ended McTominay's career in touchwood. And obviously thankful that it didn't, and I think McTominay went on to have a fantastic game. Somebody mentioned in the chat just that he was... There we go. Inzaghi Smith says McSaw drove us forward all night, getting better and better. Future captain, definitely. And obviously he's got his goal as well. I saw you tweeted about his techers. Like, he just seems to have a knack from outside the box, doesn't he? Like, he hits the target.
Yeah, just the way that he just put it in, it's just great. I feel like, you know, when you talk about goals, like, he's just got that habit of being in around that edge of the box, almost a bit like a Paul Scholes-esque, you know. Scholes scored many goals, but you always remember the ones from kind of like the outside of the area, and I feel like that's kind of McTominay's area now. That's where his goals, his memorable ones are coming from, aren't they?
Definitely. And he brings that energy in the middle, like someone mentioned. He drives forward. And yeah, I'm a big fan of McTominay. I've said it before. He's not a glamorous player. He's not the one who's going to do the pretty stuff, but he works hard. He grafts. He does all the dirty work in there. He's a physical presence in there. And I'm buzzing that he's getting a bit of credit today as well for his performance. But firstly, I'll look at our penalty that wasn't given. Obviously, the tackle on Cavani, which my heart was in my mouth, by the way. I thought Cavani was going to be injured after that. Luckily, he wasn't. But for you, Meg, to me, that looked like it was on the line. Like, I can't understand why that wasn't given as a penalty. I genuinely cannot understand for the life of me why that was not given.
I just don't get it, because I feel like if you can be offside from your furthest point, like where you are on the pitch, then if Cavani's furthest point on the pitch was on the line, surely that's a penalty. But I don't know. If it says, I mean, if the contact's on his toe, does that mean that it's a penalty?
Who knows? Who knows? No, honestly, I thought it's on the line, it's definite penalty. They either paused it was on the line, definite penalty, and then it was given not a penalty. I don't know. Don't understand. But we move on, and obviously, luckily, it wasn't a major decision that affected us. But VAR in general, so Connor just put in the chat saying VAR is a shambles. You saw in the Arsenal game as well. Meg, VAR was meant to make everything so much clearer, but for me, it overcomplicates it. And I don't know about you, when I'm watching the women's games, for example, a weekend, you got no VAR, I would much rather it be that way.
Do you know what? When it was all first spoke about, I was thinking, finally, something that will make it a little bit more black and white, that you can go back and I literally to the point where, you know, like stupid decisions where they've completely missed it. And I look back at those ones and I'm like, that's when we need it to come in.
Yeah.
But then you look at like the offside for them tonight. He's had to go back, not once but twice, because it is that close. The other night we were comparing someone's arse cheek to where their shirt finished. The red card for them tonight, I just think it's just a bit of a farce. They went on about having it being clear and obvious errors.
Mm-hmm.
Well, some of the errors that are being made are not clear and obvious, and things like that, I guarantee they even themselves out. I guarantee throughout the entire season, you'll have some go for you, some won't go for you. But you can't, like, for me, if you're going to use it to be those ones that get completely missed, because everyone's human and everyone makes mistakes. Literally the ones that are so clear and obvious, that's the one that you should be going for, not bloody millimetres.
Yeah, and Inzaghi said worst bit about the first pen that obviously was ruled back and brought us a free kick was the fact that Greenwood scored following it. Did you see that? Like, the ball was put across to him and he finished it. He must have been so gutted, like, especially for it to be pulled back for a penalty, you'd be gutted. But then for it to be pulled back as a free kick, I think you'd be even more gutted. But I thought Greenwood had a decent game as well. Alex, thank you so much for the super chat. He says for Fantasy Premier League, Ben Narek sets a new record with his -7 points. Ouch. I just hope some people haven't captained him this week. But yeah, thank you so much, Alex, for the super chat. Noah says I'll be on the drinks. I'm actually not, but after watching that, I felt like getting on the drinks definitely, but it's a school night, so I won't be on the drinks. But I'll call this video Cloud9 for a reason, because none of us predicted it was going to be this scoreline. Even watching it, I don't think anyone was fully expected it. I saw a few people tweeting. I think Mark actually tweeted saying it's going to be a cricket score. Never fully expected it, but I'm just buzzing. Like I see you sat there smiling. I'm absolutely buzzing, Meg.
Do you know what? I was smiling, but I'm also laughing because Shivan's just put in the. Thank you, Ian. Shivan just put in the. And the one before that, we didn't need Pogba in that game, and when the T news came out, I sat and I thought, why are you not playing Pogba? Why are we sitting with the two of them? Like, like I always say, Pogba can make a game look so easy when he wants to. Well, boy, I was wrong. No, we don't need him.
When obviously they went down to 10 and it looked like they were going to sit in and look like maybe much struggle to break them down. I did actually utter the words Pogba would be great in this game. I think we need him in and around the box. We need like quick 1-2 touches. But luckily we didn't need that. We managed to save Pogba. Obviously Rashford went off 60-minute mark as well. Cavani went off. Cavani, by the way, in the first half, his link-up play, I thought he had a really good game.
Yeah. Do you know, I mentioned it the other day, the Cavani and the Greenwood combination, they fit so fluently together. There was a little bit of play, didn't lead to anything, but Cavani and Greenwood just naturally swapped positions. Greenwood picked up the ball, Cavani went to the outside, laid it off, and Greenwood carried his run on centrally rather than trying to find his space back on the right. And Cavani just stayed there. It was natural. And I just like the two of them together. The fact that one's so young and one's, well, dare I say old. He's not really old, is he? Let's face it. The way that he's playing is like a teenager. But the one's at the one end of his career, the other one's at the other end of his career, and they just go together.
Yeah, Alex, bigging us up there for what we were wearing. Thank you so much, Alex. Appreciate that. Why didn't Man United have us for modelling? I don't know. I'm only joking. Look at Meg. But Southampton, Hasan Hutel, you've got to feel a bit sorry for him, I guess. I mean, I do think he's done a great job at Southampton, but with a loss to Leicester, there you go. Noah's put in the chat 9-0. Then losing to us 9-0. It's not a good omen, is it? It's not a good omen for him. It's not a good scoreline, really, to be associated with.
It's not, but what I will say is the way that Southampton have performed since that 9-0 from Leicester, they've been superb. And we always say they are a really difficult team to go against. Yeah. And I hope that for them that they don't crumble and that they can come back again. You can never, you never ever go into a game and think you'll be with 10 men with less than 2 minutes on the clock. Never. And it's such a pinnacle moment of the game, isn't it? It completely changed everything. Everything that you've worked on throughout the week or the last couple of days, because that's all they get at the moment, isn't it? Just goes kind of out the window. You don't plan for that, and I do feel sorry for him. He knew straight away, but he's got a great team. He's got great players at times, so I think they'll be all right. They'll be fine.
But the only thing I'll say I was gutted about is I put a bet on today. I don't bet very often. I put a bet on, and I bet Rashford to score 2 and Jack Stevens to get booked. And obviously Rashford scored 1, Stevens got booked, and then Rashford got subbed off, and I was begging. I knew he was going to go off for James, and I was thinking, please don't take him off, please don't. But that's the only downside I'd have to it. But Rashford, Meg, another player who's had a bit of stick. Obviously, had some racial abuse thrown at him the other day as well, which is disgusting. We've already touched on that. Not welcome in football at all. But do you think that he looked back to his best tonight? Did he have a good game for you?
Do you know what? He scared me. He scared me because before he scored, he had the opportunity to kind of hit it. He did like a quick turn in the box, got it onto his right foot, and then passed it. And I thought, why have you not shot? Like, I felt like this is it. He's just not playing with confidence. And then he grabbed his goal. And he didn't like mess about with it in the box. He literally, the ball come to him first time. And I thank the Lord that it's not sat on his mind and he's playing on it. I'm so happy for him. And I'm like you said, confidence-wise, Rashford scoring, Martial scoring. Even the fact that Dan James has come on the pitch and scored, huge confidence booster for him, definitely. He took the goal really nicely as well, by the way, for Dan James.
I thought Dan James when he came on, he was positive though. He got the ball, he drove it, put a few crosses in. Yes, some of them are overhit, but he was constantly trying to get to the byline, trying to put a cross in. He gave us something a bit different, didn't he? Because he offers that running in behind. I think Rashford a lot of time would prefer to come to feet, and Dan James obviously likes to spin off in behind. But yeah, I thought he did well when he came on, and like I say, happy to see him get a goal as well. Happy for Tony to get a goal as well. Wan-Bissaka one, I wasn't expecting, even though we spoke about him getting the back post, and I'm thrilled for him as well. And I thought he had a really good game, but obviously going into Everton, we should be so confident now, Meg. Hopefully we can kick on and get a run. That's what we need, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. You know, keep, like we always say, just keep yourself in there. The run that we went on prior to Sheffield was just incredible, and if we can get anything close to that again, I'll be extremely happy. Just what I can't think like 9-0. We played so well as well.
I cannot wait to watch the highlights. Honestly, it's one of them. I just cannot wait to watch the highlights because most of the game's like a highlight.
Goal after goal after goal after goal.
It was just played. The whole game was played, wasn't it? In the final third, their half, like the whole game.
But
literally from 79 seconds in.
Even though we played in their half and we had so much possession, that one time we needed David De Gea. No, against the free kick.
Oh yeah.
And De Gea, fair play to him, trusted in his wall because he left a huge gap on that one side, huge gap, and held his ground, was there when we needed him.
Definitely. Football Crucial says that game felt like a training match. I hope we can get a result against Everton. That will be a different game. Definitely. Everton is always a game that, especially last few years, obviously we were battered at Goodison. Was it last season? Horror result. But Everton's going to be a tough game, isn't it, Megan? It's going to be a different test, obviously, Southampton one. We need to bring our A game, but at the same time, like I say, we should be taking confidence now and hopefully we can build a bit of momentum behind us. Are you feeling confident going into that game?
How can you not feel confident after what we've just seen? I mean, if anyone's definitely confident. The way that it's not just the fact that we won 9-0, because you can win 9-0 against 10 men and you can have worked hard for it. We made it look easy at times. The fact that we kept hold of the ball, we didn't we've done it at times where we spoke about it. The little flicks round the side and it doesn't go anywhere and it doesn't click and it's not fluent. Tonight, kept hold of the ball, created the opportunity rather than just rushing through it. Held on patience. So deserved every single goal.
I agree. James is obviously an Everton fan. He says, I'm worried ahead of Saturday, very worried. You know how inconsistent we have been? It's hard to sit here, even when you just won 9-0, sit there and say, oh yeah, we're going to batter Everton at the weekend. Because it depends what United turns up. But I'm just saying we've got all the ammunition and the perfect kind of running into that game. We've rested players like Pogba, Rashford came off early, Cavani came off. Players like Martial have scored tonight, which lifts their confidence as well. You'd feel going into that now, we should have the momentum and we should definitely be feeling confident going into it. I just hope we see more of that kind of performance. I cannot wait to get onto the team ratings. Meg, I've got a feeling there's going to be a few high ones in the ratings, and we'll get onto that very shortly. And obviously, guys, get involved in the chat and let us know what your team ratings are as well. But yeah, the last one that we did, we didn't even have the heart to get through it because it was so depressing. We were saying no one's getting any higher than a 5.5. This one, I've got a feeling it's going to be a bit different, Meg.
I mean, can you... Do we just hold a 10 up and just go from there? Across the board? There's going to be some that I'll feel a 10, but I feel like obviously they played higher than a 10 out of 10. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's going to be a few that are just on the same, but there's going to be some great numbers coming out right now.
Connor, please do not say this. It's written in the stars that Josh King will score, ex-United player, and a failed transfer. You just know it. Do not say that. Why would you even say that? Definitely don't say it loud.
You know, things like that. You know, at the start of the game, they said Southampton hadn't won it at Old Trafford for like 5 years. Yeah. And I was just kind of like, oh, for God, you know what's coming. However, it didn't. But you know when things like that, you think, oh, no, you know what's going to come our way.
Yeah. Hopefully not. Someone said let's give them all 9s. I think that's a bad shout. Obviously 9-0. Should we give them all 9s, Meg? I don't think that's a bad shout.
I'd be like 9-9.
Yeah, 9.99999.
Yeah.
Yeah. De Gea then. Let's start with David De Gea. Obviously, like you say, didn't have a lot to do, but did what he was called upon. Obviously, the free kick. So clean sheet. Yes, I know we're a bit lucky with the clean sheet. You'd say because of the offside decision, but another clean sheet. And De Gea, you'd have to say Ward-Prowse was probably the main danger, and he managed to keep him out. So he's got to have a good rating, hasn't he? Really. Rebuilds put him as a 7.
A 7.
Shivan 7. Twisted 7.5.
And the people that have just commented 7 or 7.5, are you doing that because you didn't have much to do?
Probably. There you go. Andrew's given a bit of reasoning. He said didn't have much to do in the game besides the Ward-Prowse free kick. I agree with that.
But that's not his fault. He didn't have much to do.
It's not his fault, but I just don't think you can say, we had a worldie. If you think of a player in open play, for example, how many times have we said for Martial, when he did have a ball, he did all right, but we just need him in the game a bit more. I'm not saying De Gea needs to run up the pitch and get involved in the game, but what I'm saying, I'm not saying that needs to happen. But what I'm saying is, you can't exactly say he had a worldie, can you? But he didn't do anything wrong, so I don't know, it's hard. It's a hard one, this, because with a keeper in particular, when you kept a clean sheet, and for most of it, he's been twiddling his thumbs other than aside from a free kick. It's like, where do you go from there? Go, stop to go, I think it says De Gea 8.99, 7.5 there from Cooley. Will Reese is a 9.5, De Gea a 7. It's hard, isn't it? Shall we go in between all that and shall we say like an 8?
I read that, Ian, as in Ian was down the pub and I was like, where did you go?
Yeah, I think, what should we give him an 8? Because we've had between a 7 and a 9, really, in the chat. I think Mark put a 10. So let's go for an average of an 8.
I would go an 8.5 because I'm in an absolutely wonderful mood. But if we want to go for 8, we'll go for 8. But
okay.
If I read David De Gea saw this, I backed you for an 8.5.
Wan-Bissaka, a player that I personally have obviously criticised of late. I said that going forward he needs to offer more. I thought he had a great game tonight, to be honest with you. I think he'd have to be in the running for man of the match. I'm not saying he was man of the match, but I do think he was one of the top players on the pitch tonight.
Yeah, he was there when you wanted to attack, and he was there when we wanted to defend. He came back through, that they were running through. I don't know who it was that was running through. I'm 10 for all.
I love the positivity.
I can't remember which Southampton player it was running through. And I've seen a picture of Aaron Wan-Bissaka and his tackle.
It was Ings. Was Ings.
I couldn't remember if it was Ings or Adams. Just everywhere, wasn't he? It was literally touchline to touchline tonight. Fabulous performance.
Luke Shaw is the best left back since Roberto Carlos. He's definitely in the form of his life at the minute. Definitely. I'm not going that far, but he is playing really well. 8.5, 9. I think I could push him up to a 9, to be fair. 9.9 there. John says a 9. There you go.
Who put it? 9.9. If we were going for 9.9, he's got to be a 10. If you're going to go for that close, you just give him the 10. For me, definitely a 9. Definitely. I
thought he was brilliant tonight. Obviously got a goal as well. So started things off, you'd say. So he definitely deserves a high rating. Lindelof and Maguire, for me, like they're a bit like De Gea in the sense that they didn't really have a lot to do. Most of their work was passing the ball from side to side, trying to switch the play. Or Maguire driving forwards with the ball, wasn't it? They didn't have a lot of defending to do, really.
But let me tell you, Maguire looked fed up in that second half. He was up there. He was like, right, I'm off. He was on an adventure. He was like, Lindelof, you stay there. I'm going up. He was at the edge of the box at one point. I was like, just steady yourself, mate, because you're not the quickest at getting back.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking, blimey, just check your shoulders at how far you've got up this pitch. Maguire weren't sticking about. He was gone. Lindelof, a couple of points in the first half. I think this is how picky I'm getting. His first touch was just a little bit in front of him, almost like he recovered well. I'm being dead picky. I'm not going to drop him down for that, but you know what he gets like, Lindelof, at times. He gives you those heart palpitations about what you're going to do with the ball here.
Yeah. So I was at 7. I've seen a 7.5. I think I'm going to put him as an 8. I don't think he did anything wrong. He had a decent game. And like I said, clean sheet. So I think the defenders deserve the high rating for keeping a clean sheet as well. 75 people watching, make sure you all subscribe. Please hit that sub button, guys. Really appreciate it. Obviously, share the stream if you could do as well. And of course, drop a like on the video and ask away your questions in the chat. Get involved with the ratings. We do read as many as we can do. Maguire then. So we've gone for an 8 for Lindelof. Maguire, would you match that?
Matching him, sticking. They're a partner. They come as a pair. If one's an 8, the other one's going for an 8 as well tonight.
Yeah, I think he had a decent game. He spent more time in the opposition half. I agree with Alex, he did. But I do think at times, like, he was positive. He drove forwards. He was trying to force things, wasn't he? It wasn't like he didn't always want to pass sideways. You could see at times he was trying to drive forward, trying to play that ball in between the lines. So, yeah, I thought definitely an 8. I would match Lindelof. I don't think they did anything wrong. Luke Shaw, again, I thought he was outstanding, but we are judging him on a half of football because he got took off, unfortunately. But he was class. Roberto Carlos-esque, as someone said in the chat. But yeah, he had a really good game.
Honestly, if we were purely basing it on, like, obviously the fact that he didn't play the second half, so we're going to drop it down, and we'll not drop it down, but if the first half had been the full game, I'll be sitting here now saying he's 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
And I would say his performance, given the fact that he had a 45 minute start, would be 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Because
John's comment made me laugh. Did you see that? It was on the left wing, Maguire. Little quick feet on the left wing. He had a free kick, didn't he?
Yeah. Only an 8.5. Honestly,
right. Yeah, but don't forget we are judging it on a half of football.
I know,
so that's probably what.
Honestly, the way that he played, unbelievable. His literally just delivered them straight on the plate.
And how many assists did he get? 2 assists, was it?
2 assists tonight.
In a half. So
he's playing unbelievable football right now. Unbelievable.
I'm going to go. I think he's slightly edged Wan-Bissaka, and I'm going to say a 9.5. Wan-Bissaka's a 9. I think Luke Shaw deserves a 9.5, and I don't know if that's just sticking my neck out there, but I think because of what he's been through and the stick he's had, the form that he's on at the moment, like literally defensively, he's unbeatable, and going forwards, he looks so positive, trying to make stuff happen. He's obviously been putting set pieces and stuff as well, and we're seeing that element added into his game where he can actually whip a ball into the box. He's getting better and better, and I think it was Mark in the chat, said he seems to be getting the form back that he had before he had the injury, and hopefully he does keep this up and keeps that form because he deserves it, in my opinion, for the stick that he's had. And exciting times for England as well for the Euros, because right now, I think you'd have to say that he should be starting for England in the Euros. He's the best left back we've got currently.
Definitely. Seeing someone actually, and I'll ask it to anyone who's watching right now, and to you, Soph, is Luke Shaw your first name on the team sheet right now?
He's got to be up there. Has to be up there. You'd have to say he has to be up there. Is my first name? Probably no. But he has to be up there. And that's probably because I'm more of an attacking-minded person. I'd probably say Bruno would be mine, or Cavani. But Luke Shaw has to be up there. Like, defensively, like I say, he's been solid, and going forwards as well, he gives us an outlet on that left-hand side with his overlapping runs or his underlapping runs. He seems to have a bit of an understanding with Rashford when Rashford plays out left as well. Positive, but he's definitely got to be one of the first names. Would he be the first one? Probably not. Like I say, Bruno probably edged it for me, maybe even Cavani, but Luke Shaw has to be up there. Has to be.
I think he's fully cementing his place in that team right now. And we always say that I'm so Tellez, I'd love to see more of, but right now you have to just say Luke Shaw is playing out of his skin. He's doing so well to keep his place. Yeah,
100%, definitely. Let's start with Fred then in the middle. Obviously dropped to like a left wing back, didn't he, in the second half? But that was a debate. But still had a decent game there, to be fair. But
I thought we were going for a 3 at the back, and then I just see Fred on the left of Maguire, and I'm thinking, are you meant to be there, or are you? If you just come out wide a little bit just for this phase of play. Although the one thing did annoy me, they did switch off for that free kick.
Yeah.
And it was a bit like the Sheffield goal where we didn't clear our lines because he blocked the first shot.
Yeah.
So we had the opportunity to clear it, and it's gone through Maguire's legs, across the goal, and Wan-Bissaka's at the back post, and he's literally trying to tap it in by the looks of things. So I was a little bit annoyed at the fact that we were sleeping on that free kick, and it just happened to be on Fred's side when he was playing at left back.
Yeah, I think an 8 it would be fair, maybe an 8.5 for Fred. I think he had a very decent game, and even when he changed position, I still thought he was effective. Put a few decent balls into the box. Positive game all around from him, really. Callum said, how do we rate Manchester United's title chances? on the back of a 9-0, we probably we're going to win it, definitely. But no, realistically, I mean, Meg, we've spoken about this, haven't we, saying that top 4 should be our priority. But obviously, if you're Manchester United, you should always be wanting to win the league. But I think our honest prediction before the season started, we just said top 4. But when you're up there and you're competing, with some of the results that have happened in this season already as well, this one included, anything could happen, and we just need to take our games one at a time, focus on ourselves, and see where we end up. That's the only way that I can really answer that.
I think for me, if you look at it in terms of the fact, okay, and I say this without, I always say that I think every team will probably still drop points between now and the end of the season. Mm-hmm. But if we won every single one of our games and Man City won every single one of their games, Man City would still win the league. So what we've got to do is be there in case anything happens. And the only way that we do that is by focusing on ourselves and picking the points up, the 3 points, grinding out wins when we need to grind them out, not dropping silly points. And if you do that and other teams slip up, then you're in with a chance. But right now, mathematically, if we both go on and win all of our games, Man City will still win the league. So I think we're in and about it. Do I think we would genuinely go on and win it? You have to say Man City are going to, if it's down to them. But like I said, we just have to make sure that we're getting the points, grinding out results when we need to, not dropping silly points, and we're in with a shout.
I think that's a good point, the silly points as well. It's all right us looking at Man City and thinking, we're close to them and whatnot, they might drop points. It's pointless to even think about that if we're going to go and drop points to the likes of Sheffield United like we did in midweek. Like, we simply cannot do that. That's what I mean. We need to take our games one at a time and see where we go from there. Like Ollie said, to be fair, in his press conference, focus on ourselves, and obviously we're up there and thereabouts, and we'll see where we are at the end of the season, but predominantly we focus on us. So, Meg, Fred, are we saying an 8?
I give him an 8, yeah.
McTominay, you think he was higher? Obviously, he got man of the match, didn't he, according to Robbie Savage? And I do think he had a really good game.
I think he had an incredible game. You think, we're talking about someone who we've sat here and said, he has been on the end of what could have been a career-threatening injury if he'd have planted his foot. It was a horror challenge after less than 2 minutes on the pitch. And he's not let that affect him. He's got himself back up, played on, and really pushed us further up that pitch. He didn't sit back as a number 4. He just, went up and was like, I'm going to go and make an influence in the attacking side of the game. I thought he did incredible tonight. I really did. And I think there have been games where I don't think he's hit his own standards, but tonight wasn't one of them. He, honestly, for me, probably, a man of the match. I probably agree with what they said on the commentary.
So we're going for a 10? So what are we going for?
I would give him a 10. Is that our first 10?
I think ever? It might be. I think
that's our first ever 10.
I think it might be, But if we're giving Shaw a 9.5, Wan-Bissaka a 9, if he's man of the match, he's got to go higher, so we're putting him as a 10. Bruno!
We've lost the 10, that's it. We've done it, Soph.
We've done it. And it's gone to McTominay.
Note that down, everyone.
So we clip that. I'm going to clip it and use it at some point. Bruno, though, a lot of people still saying that he wasn't up to scratch. Didn't have a great game. Scored, got an assist. And I thought he was genuinely busy trying to make stuff happen throughout the game. I thought he had a decent game tonight.
Yeah, busy in a central position as well, because let's face it, the space is on the wings. So he's trying to pick the ball up in an area that's congested with defenders. Congested in the fact that there's, like I said at one point, a bank of 5 and a bank of 4 of Southampton players, and he's in the middle of it. So him just being there and being busy, he's got less space to do anything. The free kick that he tried to hit under the wall, a couple of players jumped and a couple of players stayed, and he unfortunately hit the one that stayed. But stepped up for the penalty, started that home nicely. A solid performance. I thought it was
solid. I don't think I agree with this statement here, Anders. Solid, if not spectacular. I agree. 2 assists and a goal. Like, how can you really knock that performance? If that's anyone else, you'd probably screaming man of the match performance. But for Bruno, you'd say it's a fairly quiet game, which is a compliment to him. But like you say, with it congested in there as well, obviously it's hard to get in between the gaps in the middle. Yeah. We needed to get the ball out wide. That didn't really play to his strengths, but I just thought he had a decent game. And I'd probably say an 8 is a fair score for Bruno Fernandes. I think he had a very decent game. And like I say, when you've got assists and you've scored a goal as well, you don't want to take any lower than that, really. I mean, would you agree on an 8, Meg?
If not an 8.5, an 8 or an 8.5, definitely. Either one of those two.
He did have some lovely touches, I agree. The little one with the outside of the foot that he flicked into the path of Cavani in the first half. He definitely had some good touches. And like I say, a goal. And he always looked busy and was trying to make stuff happen. So I think he had a decent game. Marcus Rashford then, Meg, a player that we've already touched on, saying that he had a lot of stick in the week. But today I thought he looked sharp, he looked hungry. And on that left, he just suits him better, doesn't it?
Yeah, back in his favourite spot, isn't it, really? And like I said, that one chance he had early on and he passed it instead of shot, and I just thought this is going to be one of those where he's just not got the confidence in him. He's kind of like lost it a little bit, but no, didn't sit on it. Ball came across, hit it first time. And I thought he played really well again.
Did. Ladies, can you believe the result comes the day after Phil Jones was put back in the Premier League squad? Coincidence, or is Phil Jones that good? I'm hearing that's the effect. Yeah, that's the effect that he has on the changing rooms. That's what I'm hearing, anyway. But yeah, Phil Jones somehow getting some credit for the result. I love it. But yeah, I thought Rashford had a decent game. He was positive. He was clinical. Sir Marcus Nippon says an 8. Twisted said a 7.75. Arjun's agreeing that Luke Shaw should be man of the match. Rashford a 9 really surprised me tonight. Rashford an 8. His finish was good as well, to be fair. And there was one slightly earlier, wasn't there, when he kind of sat the defender down and he should have tried to shoot and he tried to square it to Bruno Fernandes. And I was thinking, shoot, Rashford, shoot. And I thought we'd regret that, but obviously in the end he didn't. But yeah, I thought he had a very decent game. A lot of people saying around the 8 mark, 7, 8. I think an 8's a fair one for Rashford tonight, Meg.
Okay, an 8 or above. No, I wouldn't drop him down to a 7.
Yeah, an 8. Let's go for an 8 or above. I agree with that. We'll go for an 8. We'll play it. Because you know me, I'm a Rashford fan and I don't want to be accused of being biased towards Marcus Rashford. So I'm asking you to call that one. Mason Greenwood. Unlucky, to be fair. He did score after Cavani squared it to him when he was brought down for the penalty. That wasn't a penalty, which was a penalty. You know what I mean? That situation, he did actually finish the chance. So I felt a bit bad for him. But I thought he had a decent game. He can go either way. Greenwood is a very intelligent player. You wouldn't say he was a standout performer, but again, nobody really played that bad tonight, did they?
No, and I feel like he was probably the name that was missing off the goal list, because it just felt like he would have just topped it all off, wouldn't he? I think James topped it all off because I was just glad that he came on the pitch and got himself a goal. But it would have been nice for Greenwood to have scored and got on the list as well. But yeah, like I said, I just like the fact that him and Cavani link up so well together.
Yeah. He's just a clever player, Greenwood. Like, there's at times, especially in the second half, I think it's towards the end, where the ball went over the top and he showed like really good close control. He's just so composed on the ball. He very rarely gives it away. And like I say, in front of goal, he's so clinical as well. He had a few shots today, didn't he? Yeah, I agree with Mel Bob. Let's keep the positivity going. Exactly, guys. Hit the like on the video, please. If you're happy with the result tonight and if you like the content, please hit that like. We'd appreciate it. And of course, hit the sub button as well if you're brand new. We'd appreciate it. We're so close to 15k now as well. But I am feeling positive. Mason Greenwood, Meg. I don't think he played quite as well as Marcus Rashford, if I'm honest. And obviously we're giving Rashford an 8. So shall we say Greenwood a 7.7? Just because I'm trying to push him up that little bit more. Because I don't think he played badly. I just don't think he was quite as good as... Then again, would you say he got the assist? So...
It's difficult. They've all played really well. They all played well. So I'd give him a 7. Yeah, I'll just give him an 8 if I'm honest. But I'm in a good mood. Yeah,
to be fair, we all are. Cavani then, his first half. We mentioned Luke Shaw's first half. I thought Cavani's first half was exemplary as well. I thought he played really well, and he got a goal.
Yeah, and like I said with Luke Shaw, you kind of want them to play more, but I'm also really glad that Ali subbed them and is protecting his players rather than just saying go and play another 90 minutes. So it's hard to say come off because you're playing so well.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's also like I'm really grateful that you're protecting the players that we actually need going forward.
Yeah, James says great win, ladies. It was definitely a great win. I'm still absolutely buzzing. I cannot wait to watch the highlights. Cannot wait. Cavani a 7 from Andy. I think that's a bit low. I think Cavani plays really well. He wears number 7 now, so maybe that's what you meant. 7.8 for Greenwood there. Cavani was immense. A 9, an 8.5, and 9. What I loved about it, little 1-2 touch. football. The ball came into his feet and he's pinging it off left and right and then spinning off. Like, he's such an intelligent player. His movement, we already know, is class. But yeah, I thought his link-up play tonight was really good. And I was gutted, to be fair, he went off at half-time. I thought he changed us the way that we played when he went off. But obviously Martial came on and we'll give him a rating in a minute. But it's good to see the old Martial back. Cooley says 7.9. See, I'm thinking more like a 9 for Cavani. I don't know about you, Meg.
I was going to say, he's definitely a 9 for me. And
yeah,
you know what about that header? The header was not only just class, but his whole reaction to it. You can just tell when someone scores how much it means.
Yeah.
Like, every single goal that he scores, it looks like it means so much to him.
Yeah, I still can't believe we've won 9-0. Cavani, 8.5, got a goal, worked hard, and again his movement was brilliant. Would have been a higher score if he played longer tonight. Yeah, I agree. He looked like he was in the mood for it tonight, didn't he, Cavani? I'm going to give him a 9. I'm going to do it. I'm going to give him a 9 because I thought he played really well. We're getting on to the subs then, Meg. Obviously, I'll firstly start with Van der Beek. A lot of people saying, like, get him on the pitch at half-time and he deserves to be playing in this game. He came on, but did he really have the impact that you thought he would have?
I think it's difficult when you get in the flow of football and then you've got half-time, you've got to come out and you're winning 4-0 to kind of go again. But I'm glad that he was brought on at half-time rather than only getting like a 15-20 minute stint, like a full 45 minutes where we didn't necessarily need something to happen. Do you know what I mean? Like, there have been times where we brought him on, and with other subs as well, and we're rating them, and the pressure is all on them because they've got to come and make this impact. He didn't need to come on and make an impact tonight. He just needed to do what he did.
Yeah.
He needed to come on and just say, "Do you know what, winning 4-0, go and get some game time."
Yeah. Cooley says 6. Nippon says 7.6. Anders says a 5, didn't do much. That would mean an average. Van der Beek did 6, didn't do much. He got a lot of the ball, didn't do much wrong. Happy that he got game time. I agree. I think it was one of them as well. It was so, like you mentioned, Bruno, so congested, isn't it, in that midfield when he came on? It was congested in there, particularly in the second half because Southampton obviously were a solid unit and we had to get the ball out wide. It wasn't really until the end that we started to get some more goals. I just felt like you say, it's an awkward when you're coming on into a game like that when the teams are literally just defending in against you. It's hard, isn't it? You do need more of that 1-2 touch football, but I don't think he did anything wrong. I agree with Mark saying there he needs to run a game. Completely agree with that. But he does get into the box. You can tell he's got an eye for goal. He does get into the box and he's positive. But I didn't think he did anything majorly wrong. I think a 5 is a bit low because I think you're marking him down. Really, I don't think he deserved that. But I don't know, maybe a 7.5 for Van der Beek's performance. What's your thoughts, Meg?
Yeah, I'd probably say around a 7 or a 7.5, just because, like I said, he didn't need to come on and be this impact today. He just needed to come on but he came on in the second half and we scored 5 goals and we only scored 4 in the first half. So as a second half side, we did extremely well and we didn't concede, although it was very, very close. But that's something to kind of to do with him. It was, he wasn't involved in trying to get the ball away. Probably a 7 to a 7.5.
Yeah, I agree. Aman, thank you so much for the super chat. It says, hi, Soph. What a game. Absolutely buzzing. Go, Man United. Yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing too. I keep forgetting that we won 9-0. It's like it comes back to me. A comment's made in the chat or something just to remind me, but I don't think it's quite sunk in yet that we've just won 9-0. And I know they had send-ins off and whatnot, but I thought the way we played tonight, we were clinical. We had a bit of tempo. You could hear the coaches on the side saying, like, speed it up, put a bit of tempo into it. You could see that we had the bit between our teeth even before the sending off. I know that was soon, but when we start well, we could score so many goals. But if we just don't start well enough of the time, do we?
Yeah, and I think, like you just said it, like when we start well, we have this kind of like buzz about us, and I kind of got that tonight that it was, we were there to kind of correct what happened last week, to right the wrongs. And we did that, and we really did more than that.
Shivan says, have a question. Did we play well or did Southampton play poorly? What I will say, when that sending off happened, I was thinking, oh no, it's going to be another one of them games. They're going to sit in. We've already know what's happened in the past. We haven't been able to break teams down. We're going to struggle, and we're going to maybe scrape a 1-0 win, but it's going to be the most boring game ever. we weren't. And like George said, what I really liked was how ruthless we were. We went at them, and even when we were 4-5 up, we didn't stop. We just kept going at them, kept going at them. And in the past, we'd have been happy and just sat on that. It's almost like Ollie said to them at half-time, we've got to think about our goal difference. We need to get out. We need to score some more goals. And it paid off. And yeah, I'm just buzzing. So I'd actually say I think we played really well. Of course, the sending off had a part to play in it. But I felt how ruthless we were in the way that we went at Southampton. We didn't back off them, which we would have done in the past. I think that's a credit to Ollie for obviously what he said to him at half-time, but a credit to us as well, because we just had to tire them out. And like I say, the rest of our goals seemed to come towards the end of the game when they were tiring out, but we didn't give up. And I think that shows progress on our behalf yet again. Doug, thank you so much, Doug, for the super chat. Make sure you go and subscribe to Doug's channel as well. Obviously, featured on here a lot. I feature on his channel a few times as well. So go and make sure you check out his channel. I think he's so close to 1K. So, guys, if you could get over and help him reach that milestone, that'd be brilliant. That's Southampton's lost 9-0 at home and away. I can see Haas and Hooter resigning. They'll hope you are both well. I just finished work, so catching up now. Hope work went well, Doug. We said we felt a bit sorry for Haas and Hooter. That's not a good omen to have, is it? That 9-0 scoreline. But at the same time, I think if you look this result aside, I think Southampton this season have had a decent start to the season. They had a few injuries. Obviously, Ings was out with coronavirus, which affected them. But I think on the whole, I think Arsene Hootel is doing actually a very good job. And that sounds bizarre to say that after he's lost 9-0 twice. But genuinely, Meg, I don't know what your thoughts are on it, but I like him and I think he's doing a good job at Saints.
Yeah, I think he'll continue to do a good job. Like I said, after that 9-0 against Leicester at home, they've come on leaps and bounds and they're always a difficult team to play against. I don't think it'll be season defining for them. I think they'll go on and they'll still have a good season in respect of this result. So I hope for the younger players in that team, because there were a few young players in that Southampton team, that they just learn from it, and you just have to hope that it doesn't repeat itself.
Martial got the goals that's been coming for a long time, and 8 for me. He's never hid away in the team, and the build-up play has been solid. Martial will do Martial next. Obviously, he came on and got some goals. I thought they were going to give a handball, to be fair, for one of the goals, but his link-up play was good. He was positive on the ball, and I agree with the comment that he seems to have his spark back. Like today, it was like the old Martial was back, wasn't it?
Yeah, in and around the box play, it was busy, wasn't it? And I think there has been at times where he doesn't look interested. If that's that, not like a criticism of his, but sometimes he just switches off at times. We've seen some of the defending that he can do or not do. And tonight he was busy. And like I said, won the penalty, scored the goals. And I'm glad for him that he's got a performance like that in.
I think won the penalty is a key word, because in my opinion, Martial's overrun that ball. He was never getting it. His control, but it was too big. He saw the defender coming in. I think he was anticipating there was going to be contact. There was a slight contact, shall I say. And then I think the defender's almost thought about making a challenge. And when he's going to pull out, he's obviously pulled out at the last second and he's kind of caught Martial, but he didn't go in for the challenge. And I thought it was a soft one. Obviously, I'll take it all day long, and I'm buzzing that Bruno's going to finish it and get a goal. But I did think we were lucky to be given that. I've got to be honest, and I did think it was a soft one, Meg.
Yeah, and if it's the other way around, you sat here like screaming that, how soft it was and terrible decision. So you have to, balance it out and say when it is given your way. Yeah. You have to call it for what it was, and it was soft.
9-0 is all that matters, I agree. And he says Martial made the effort today. He's bullied defenders this time. Yeah, he did team up for it today, didn't he? Maybe being dropped to the bench and seeing Cavani score in the first half gave him the bit between his teeth to come on and, I've got to try and make a difference here. And he did, to be honest with you. I thought he played really well when he came on. He was unlucky with that little chip as well. He just went agonisingly just past the post, didn't it? Like slow motion. You watched it go past the post. But yeah, I thought that he had a really good game when he came on. People are saying, well, I've left the United stand. Guys, I have not left the United stand. I still talk to Flex, talk to Mark. Really good relationship there. They were just freshening little content. And obviously, whenever they want me to, I'll be back on there. But yeah, still a really good relationship. Get on with all those guys. So I haven't left at all. Don't worry about it. Great performance, but there was never a red card at the end. It was a harsh one, wasn't it? But that's the rule, isn't it? I think that comes down to the ruling.
I think anybody watching it sat there and thinking that's never a red. But if you're following the rules that are set, then it is a red. And it's a silly rule because it just, you could see that the Southampton players actually stood there like, how is that a red? He didn't even look that bad of a challenge. Like we're saying, it was very, very soft. So, so I'd be fuming if it was the other way around.
Yeah, I get it. 90 plus people watching, guys. 150 likes as well. Well done to everyone. Thank you so much, guys. Keep hitting those likes. Hit the sub button as well. Make sure you go and sub to the Dugout as well. There's Doug. There he is. Go and subscribe to Doug. I think he said he's on 965 subs now, so he's close to a K. If we could get him closer to that K, or even at the K after the stream, that'd be fantastic. But guys, we're close to 15K as well, so please hit the sub button if you're enjoying it. Martial, then, we still haven't really given him a rating. You've heard me in the past, and I'll openly say I've called him Anthony Partial because he doesn't get involved enough in the games. He's just in like spells. You see him. He's not consistent enough. Today, when he came on, like I say, he looked hungrier. It was more like the old Martial. He got his goals as well. Was unlucky not to get a hat trick. What are you going to grade him, Meg, after that?
Right, but he only played a half, and if we're going to say Luke Shaw only played a half, then I've got to say that Martial. But
we have given Luke Shaw a 9.5, to be fair.
We have, but but I can't give him. I'd give Luke Shaw over a 10 if I could. But yeah, I'd give him a 9.
Yeah, I agree with that. Number 9. Martial, number 9. I agree with that. And then Dan James got his goal when he came on, and like I say, he was positive. I thought he got on the ball. He got a few decent balls into the box. Some of them were overhit, but he was always trying to get to that byline and whip a ball in. Gave us something a bit different. I'm really happy that he got his goal as well. That'll do wonders for his confidence. So, what should we say for Dan James, Meg? Obviously, he got half an hour, didn't he?
Yeah, there or thereabouts. And like you said, I'm just happy that he scored. I was just in the right place at the right time, wasn't he? And he don't give up. And that's, you've got to have that. If you're not going to be the greatest player, just don't give up.
Yeah.
And he worked hard, didn't he? So yeah, I'm glad that he just flicked it round with the outside of his boot just to get in, just to nick a goal at the very end.
Yeah.
Let's give him a 7.5 or an 8.
I'm going to give him an 8 because he scored. I'm going to give him an 8. Came off the bench, was positive, scored a goal, done his job. We moved. So, yeah, I think considering like the game time that he has had, obviously he's been very big part, hasn't it? He's been pulled off a few times, hasn't really hit the form. For him to come on in a positive manner that he did and get a goal, I think he deserves a higher rating. So I'm going to give him an 8. Amma says Soph is a United stand legend from, remember that flick against AFTV? Yeah, the flick against DT. That I always say, but that's got to be one of my best memories so far on my YouTube journey. Like, that was just a really good experience. So yeah, thank you for Emma for that, guys. If you haven't watched that video, I recommend you do watch it. It's very entertaining. I have got the clip on my channel. I think it's my most watched video, actually. I wonder why, but yeah, entertainment at its finest. Nicholas says Martial is still lazy. Cavani should start every game. He works his arse off. So I think Cavani should start, but personally, I still think if Martial is in the form that he was in that second half, then I think he deserves to be starting every game as well. So it's where we fit that in. Is it where Martial is forced back out wide, which then means Rashford comes onto the right-hand side? That's Ollie's conundrum, isn't it? That's the headache that he's got, but it's a good position for him to be in, definitely. But mentioning DT, obviously a lot of people are mentioning DT in the chat right now. Arsenal, we'll round off on this one. You tweeted earlier saying they've got their title of Banter FC back. What happened today? Because first half, realistically, they should have been 3 or 4-0 up.
Well, they hit the post within a minute, didn't they? I watched the highlights of it. Some great goals. Obviously not the penalty. To be fair, even the penalty, because Neves put it in the top bin.
Yeah.
For it. But the 2 individual goals were super. Pepe, and I don't really rate Pepe. I don't know anyone who really rates Pepe, if I'm honest. I feel like his price tag rules him. But he deserved that because he nutmegged 2 players and then put it back post for a great goal. And then, is it João Moutinho scored? Was it him?
Yeah, what a goal. Yeah.
What a strike that is. That is a worldie of a hit.
To be fair, Wolves, with Neves and Moutinho, like they've been known, especially Neves, been known to score those kind of goals. And this season, like, I don't know, they've gone a bit stale going forwards. Obviously, my dad is a big Wolves fan, and he's a bit at a loose end at the moment watching them because they've been frustrating. Even today, I texted him saying, obviously, good game, and he said that they should have lost Wolves, especially in that first half, and they got a bit lucky. But I think Jose's coming looks good, but also Moutinho, like, if you can pull out strikes like that, like, he's an absolute worldie, posting in as well. Keeper had absolutely no chance. Alex, thank you for the super chat. Says we scored 9 whilst Arsenal played with 9 DT, crying. George actually commented as well, saying Soph sent DT to the shops. George was there. He was there live in the game. That was when I first met George. So I'm sure you can vouch for me and say how good that experience was, because it was just class. But Mark said he thought the keeper was slow to react to the Moutinho strike. I just thought it was a really good strike, to be honest with you. I thought it was a really good strike, posting.
It seemed to take for an age to get into the goal as well. I know it was far out, but it was just
far out.
It was pinpoint, wasn't it? It was literally posting in. You couldn't get any closer away from the centre of the goal.
Yeah, and then
that did not make sense, by the way. Any closer away from the goal.
I knew what you meant.
Thanks.
The Leno handball. What's your thoughts on that one as well? What is he doing?
That is the worst disguise I've ever seen from a goalkeeper. Just like hooked it round. What are you doing? Banter FC. They're back. And they're so consistent with being Banter FC as well. And they got every trick in the book to be it. They score own goals, they get 2 players sent off. The goalkeeper's handballing it, like trying to disguise it. I don't know what he's doing. They literally
how many
sent
him to the had? David Luiz, like, how many times has he been sent off this season? I feel like I don't even know. I've lost count. I've actually lost count. But yeah, banter, see what they say. But the thing is, I really want to laugh so much at that Arsenal game, but I can never do it knowing that we're kicking off just after him.
I dare
not do that. You see people doing that, and I'm like, don't do it. Do not tweet. Do not say anything, because you just know what's going to happen. And luckily that didn't happen, because I couldn't help but tweet something tonight. So I'm glad it didn't come back to bite me. I appreciate that. Nicholas says Soph could have scored tonight. All right, don't make me sound out to be like a poor finisher or anything. I don't even take that as a compliment or what.
Even you could have got a goal.
Even I could have scored tonight. Yeah, it's true though, to be fair. You are right. But yeah, guys, I don't know about you lot, but I'm going to definitely go and chill and watch some AFTV. Might even get my popcorn out. That's what I'm going to be doing after this. Please, guys, hit a like on the video. Please hit the sub button as well if you are new. I'd really appreciate it. And of course, if we miss you in the chat, just drop a comment afterwards and we'll speak to you there. Meg, as always, thank you so much for coming on. And what a nice chance to come on and be able to talk about 9 goals.
Can we have the same next week? Is that too much?
Yes,
stress?
please.
Is that too much stress?
I don't think so.
If every game could be 9-0, I'd be very happy about that. And Arsenal losing. If we can just repeat this again, just take this and repeat it on to the next set of matches. No, thank you everyone for being with us and all the comments and likes, like Sophie has said throughout the stream. Share this. We'd like to get to 15k. But Meg will be smiling all week. This is May.
Till Saturday, and hopefully we continue smiling after that. Yeah.
So thank you everyone for being with us tonight and for celebrating 9-0 with us. And we move to the next game.
We do. Doug, thank you so much for that super chat. Really do appreciate it. It's a really kind contribution. Thanks to everyone in the chat. Obviously, we're buzzing. You guys should be buzzing too. And we will be back. Shivan's asked when I'm streaming FIFA. Guys, if you are interested, I'll be on Twitch, ECL official, tomorrow. I will tweet it out and I'll put it on my Insta as well. But I'm on there at 5 o'clock. So I'll be back with my United career mode tomorrow. Obviously, I bought Ronaldo home. So come and join me on that if you're interested in some FIFA streaming. We'll be back with some more content. We're buzzing to tell you that Ladies in Red should be with us on Friday. And there's a certain member coming back. And I'll let you guys think who that might be. But we've got our girl back. So I'm absolutely buzzing for that show on Friday. So until then, guys, keep smiling. Stay positive. I'll see you on Twitch tomorrow at 5. If not, I'll see you on Friday for the Ladies in Red. Enjoy. Go and watch Match of the Day. Go and watch AFTV and chill. Take care. See ya.